Hello everyone and welcome. Today I have another poem read aloud for you. Today we're going to be reading Diving into the Wreck by Adrienne Rich. This is one of my favorite poems ever. It's a really amazing poem written by a brilliant author. So remember, while I'm reading aloud, you should be listening and thinking about what figurative language is used, trying to decipher the rhyme scheme, if there is any, and the rhythm or meter of the poem. And then, of course, overall, you should be trying to interpret how does the poem make you feel, and then what is the overall meaning. Before I begin, though, there are two things you need to know in order to help you better understand the poem. So one is that the poem references Jean-Jacques Cousteau, who was a famous underwater explorer and filmmaker. He is most famous for inventing scuba diving. He was alive from 1910 to 1997, so he's referenced in the poem, so it's important that you understand that information about him in order to understand the reference. And then the other thing is the vocabulary word assiduous is used in the poem, and that means paying careful attention to every detail. Diving into the Wreck by Adrienne Rich. First, having read the Book of Myths and loaded the camera and checked the edge of the knife blade, I put on the body armor of black rubber, the absurd flippers, the grave and awkward mask. I'm having to do this not like Cousteau with his assiduous team aboard the sun-flooded schooner, but here alone. There is a ladder. The ladder is always there, hanging innocently close to the side of the schooner. We know what it is for, we who have used it. Otherwise, it is a piece of maritime floss, some sundry equipment. I go down, rung after rung, and still the oxygen immerses me, the blue light, the clear atoms of our human air. I go down. The flippers cripple me. I crawl like an insect down the ladder, and there is no one to tell me when the ocean will begin. First, the air is blue, and then it is bluer, and then green, and then black. I am blacking out, and yet my mask is powerful. It pumps my blood with power. The sea is another story. The sea is not a question of power. I have to learn alone to turn my body without force in the deep element. And now, it is easy to forget what I came for among so many who have always lived here, swaying their crenellated fans between the reefs. And besides, you breathe differently down here. I came to explore the wreck. The words are purposes, the words are maps. I came to see the damage that was done and the treasures that prevail. I stroke the beam of my lamp slowly along the flank of something more permanent than fish or weed, the thing I came for. The wreck and not the story of the wreck, the thing itself and not the myth, the drowned face always staring toward the sun, the evidence of damage worn by salt and sway into this threadbare beauty, the ribs of the disaster, curving their assertion among the tentative haunters. This is the place, and I am here, the mermaid whose dark hair streams black, the merman in his armored body. We circle silently about the wreck. We dive into the hold. I am she, I am he, whose drowned face sleeps with open eyes, whose breasts still bear the stress, whose silver, copper, vermeil cargo lies obscurely inside barrels, half-wedged and left to rot. We are the half-destroyed instruments that once held to a course, the water-eaten log, the fouled compass. We are, I am, you are. By cowardice or courage, the one who find our way back to this scene, carrying a knife, a camera, a book of myths in which our names do not appear.